We will accept nothing less than full victory.
Adapting the David Haig stage play of the same name, Pressure recaps the final days leading up to D-Day in 1944, specifically how meteorologist James Stagg convinced General and future U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower to postpone the operation from June 5th to June 6th due to a terrible weather forecast. As history buffs can tell you, this small but crucial detail ultimately led to the Allied forces gaining a foothold in German-occupied France and was the first step towards ending World War II roughly a year later. Andrew Scott plays Stagg, Brandon Fraser portrays Eisenhower, and the film boasts an impressive amount of restored World War II archival footage for its recreation of the famous battle. And while it's an uphill climb to try and make a weather forecast a captivating story, the movie makes an honest effort of it. The film wears its stage play roots on its sleeve. Stagg is standoffish and stubborn, constantly debating with Chris Messina's Colonel Crick over how to properly forecast the weather, all the while worrying about his pregnant wife being stuck in London as the German bombings continue. And on the other side is Eisenhower, still reeling from the Exercise Tiger debacle and being openly antagonized by the other military leaders for not having seen active combat. D-Day has to succeed for the Allies to have any hope of recapturing France, and while he has a ton of resources at his disposal, he only has a very small window of time to where the operation is viable, and can't afford something like the weather to derail it. Because we're dealing with 1944 weather technology, Stagg and company only have weather balloons, charts, and phone calls and reports from other weather stations to try and develop a forecast. And while the debate between Stagg and Crick over whether or not to consider weather patterns from previous years makes for some good debate scenes, I did find myself wishing for a few non-diegetic Doppler images, or at least footage of storm fronts to break up the monotony of pointing at different charts in a small handful of rooms. And while Scott does a solid job as Stagg, particularly when he has to defend his position against a room full of military leaders, it's Frasier that steals the show as Eisenhower. Normally what little we get of Ike in media depictions is as a typical stalwart general, but here he's this towering figure bearing the full weight of the US military operation on his shoulders. It's not as flashy as most war film roles go, but it's another example of just how far Frasier's acting ability can stretch. In what's quickly becoming a loaded summer, Pressure isn't something you need to rush out and go see, but for a movie that's ultimately about a weatherman delivering a forecast, it's much better than it sounds on paper. Thanks for watching.